Hi, my name is Devin, and I'm a rising junior at La Jolla High School in San Diego, California. And once again, for the remote program of Blue Stamp Engineering Summer 2020, my project is the Arduino obstacle avoiding robot. Today I achieved my third milestone and my first modification, which was to add voice command function to the car. And here's a brief demonstration of this now. Go forward. Go back. Stop. As you can see, there are two different functions here, the voice command / control function and the obstacle avoiding function. Both of these are seen right here. So after completing the base project, which was just the car and obstacle avoiding feature, I could have gone in a lot of different directions as the Arduino allows one to do so, but I decided to go for the voice command, which was very ambitious. But how would I even go about doing such a project? Would I add a button on here or a switch that would activate a Siri-like machine? Or would I have an app? There are many possibilities, but my instructors advised me to make an app on a phone. And so the first step in doing this was to add a Bluetooth module to my car, seen right here. Right there. And what this does is it essentially allows me to communicate with the phone and the Arduino simultaneously. It acts as a middleman, I guess. And after this, the electrical component of this modification was done. I didn't need to do anything else to my car to mess with it, which is good because it's easier to mess around with code instead of the actual circuits, because those are the ones that are hard to fix. Then came the challenge of making the app on this phone. First of all, I had to use an Android because most apps for Arduino can only use Android. So Blue Stamp was accommodating enough to send me a nice Samsung for this, which is great. And after many hours of researching what platforms to use for the app, my instructors and I decided that I should use MIT App Inventor, as it was apparently the easiest and most efficient platform to make apps on. And even after many hours of watching videos and trying to understand how to create apps, I wasn't able to perform my best, and it just took such a long time to create even one function. So what I actually decided to do was use the AIA files, which essentially allow you to download and mess with other apps that other people have already created. So I used the AIA files from a bunch of other users online, Instructables and Arduino websites, and I used maybe 4 or 5, and I created one super app, and I'll show you what it looks like on my new Samsung. Looks like this. And as you can see, I left the Bluetooth module. This is how it connects, and it actually came with the left, right, up buttons, and here's the voice command in the middle. And what this really allowed me to do was understand how an app works and how MIT App Inventor works. This was actually the best thing that allowed me to understand it, and it allowed me to express my creative side and design the app however I wanted, which was great, because I only really get to do that with the websites here. And how this app works, let me just explain that briefly, is when I press left, right, up, down, it will send an integer, and I have set each function to an integer. So if I were to press this button, it would send a 2, and if I press the up button, it would send a 3, something like that. And essentially what the voice command does is that I set a voice recognizer on there, so it recognizes what I'm trying to say and then matches it with the integer. And then these integers are all sent to the Bluetooth module and then sent to the Arduino. And this is where my code takes in these integers and translate them to actual functions. So if I create if-else statements in my code saying if the data is, the app sends the data of 2, then I can say move forward. And I did that for every single function, including stop, go, left, right, forward, backward. And this proved to be a great strategy, as the robot was able to do all of these. Then proved the greatest challenge of my entire project so far, which was to combine the obstacle avoiding function and the voice command. My previous instructor advised that I should create 2 different modes. Mode 1 would be the voice command, and mode 2 would be the obstacle avoiding function. And I used a bunch of if-else statements to do so. And let's say if mode equals 1 and the data sent was 6, do this. And this ended up being very challenging because the code was very confusing, and I just got a little bit stuck after many days of trying to fix it. My new instructor advised me that I should instead use while loops, which loop over and over again and check the data to make sure that it isn't changing, while the if statements don't do that at all. And after tinkering with it, we both played around with how the integers were interpreted in while loops and if statements, the perfect balance, and it worked great. And I was able to have a fully functioning robot with 2 modes. The last step in this was to add 2 different buttons. Here we have the voice button and the obstacle button, and these activated the 2 different modes by sending 2 different integers. And now I have an object detection function and a voice command / remote control function, which is great. The next modification will be to add a servo, which essentially makes the sensor look left and right. Right now, when the robot goes within 30 centimeters, I programmed it to automatically turn right. But from now on, it will look left and right and decide for itself. So that'll be a great addition. That's it. Thank you for watching.